A very good morning from the sports desk, and it's a very important one. Can you feel it? Well, it is here. The Netball World Cup trophy has finally landed on South African soil and is now on tour in Gauteng. The trophy will touch all major cities before settling in Cape Town for the first Netball World Cup in Africa. I'm thrilled to tell you that the trophy has now arrived at ENCA, and joining us in studio is the trophy and Netball South Africa President Cecilia. And just so you know, viewers, how important this piece of silverware is, it arrived accompanied by policemen. There were sirens, there were cop cars, there was absolutely everything. So this is how important this trophy is. But 56 days exactly to go before the Netball World Cup. Cecilia, thank you so much for your time. By the way, how are our Spa Proteas doing? They're about to go into the battle of their careers.
Thank you, Nandi. I love that you asked me first about the Spa Proteas, because what is important for me and you as South Africans is the Spa Proteas. Yeah. They're very ready.
Are they ready?
They just want to be on court and take the pride of the country and show people that it's our time, and we're hosting this one on our mother's soil. Remember in 2019, we ended up at the semi-finals, and we were beaten in England for the bronze medal because of England was the host. And the crowd was English. So the crowd this time around will be South Africans.
Speaking of the crowd, you know, despite the challenges that the Spa Proteas have had over the years, you know, things like trying to go professional, struggling with sponsors, when you look at the fact that despite all of that, netball matches are actually quite well attended, how are ticket sales going?
Very well. All South African games are sold out. So don't even ask me for a ticket for a South African games, because they're all sold out. And let me say, all top 5 countries' tickets are sold out. Your Australia, your New Zealand, your England, your Jamaica, South Africa. Uganda is doing very well, and Zimbabwe is starting to do well now. And I'm happy because there are African, you know, countries that are doing well to show that Africans are here to support it. So South Africans, all those tickets that are not going well, like the small countries we call them, please, let's show them what vibe do we have, and we support sport no matter what team is playing.
And you did specifically mention how important it is for the African players, the African nations, you know, to descend on Cape Town. The Spa Proteas are ranked 5th in the world, the highest ranked African team. Is that adding pressure going into the World Cup, or is it extra motivation?
It's an extra motivation for them. I don't think it adds pressure, because they're the African champs anyway. So they're #1 in Africa and, you know, #5 in the world. And I know they want it so badly, and they want to change the narratives. I mean, we've been #5 for a very long time. I'm sick and tired of calling the #5. I want to go to #3, not even 4. I want to go somewhere there to know, you know, to say we have given them all that we can as Netball South Africa, to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, they deliver what it's supposed to deliver for the country. Remember, they are not only carrying hopes of netball people, they're carrying the hopes of 60 million South Africans to say we want to do this, and this World Cup, this trophy, you see I'm holding it with gloves.
I've been watching you throughout the tour.
I can't hold this trophy with gloves for the rest of my life. The only way I can hold it with my bare hands is when they win it.
Is if it stays.
It should stay. I want to hold it with my hands.
Yeah, and we want top 3 at least in the world. In the world. In the world.
I love you for that. I love you for that.
I want to talk a little bit about the Spa Proteas journey. Interestingly, it's quite a personal one for me, because about 9-10 years ago, I toured with the Proteas. They were in Cape Town, and I was working for ENCA, touring with them. And it's been so amazing to see the growth. The likes of Bongi was still there, Carla was still there, and a few others. For you, witnessing that journey from you know, struggling so much back then with all these challenges to now, here we are, hosting a World Cup. What's that been like for you?
You know, I came to Netball South Africa as a former player who was not well taken care of. I mean, we are afraid to tell the truth sometimes, and the truth shall set you free. I was a coach who was, I don't even want to talk about the story. And I was a national coach, by the way. I was the assistant coach to the Spa Proteas, and I was the head coach to the under-20 of the country. But the treatment was not that good. So I wanted to change the narratives, to say, you know, as a player, as I was not treated well, let me change this narrative. As a coach, the same way. As an administrator, the same way. So to me, I wanted to see netball transform. And I'm happy to say that the transformation from when you talked in 10 years ago, I mean, oh, so you've been long here.
I have.
Umadala, ne?
I'm not sure about that. Let's stick to the netball.
Okay. So from there to see the growth of netball and that girls are now paid when they were not even paid. You know, when I came to Netball South Africa, I was told that national players don't get money. Then I said, directors, I'm cutting all your monies. The girls will get paid because they are carrying the pride of the nation. We are who we are because of the players. So the transition and the growth, even the male, you know, netball has grown so much. Actually, I can say I'm a proud president where I'm sitting.
No, it's been great work that Netball SA and yourself have done over the years. It's really been impressive. I want to go back. You mentioned the 2019 World Cup where we got to the semi-finals and unfortunately lost by a very narrow margin to Australia. Norma Plummer was the coach back then. She is now back as of November last year. What makes Norma the right person to lead the Spar Proteas to a World Cup title?
By the way, Norma was always in the background, and people little did they know because we didn't talk about it. Because we wanted our coach that we put there to be up there and to own the space. So I remember when I called her, she firstly said no. I want to be honest, and I said, Norma, sleep. I think it's your night time in Australia. Sleep. I'll call you again. And when I called her, I said, you know what? Don't do it for me. Do it for the players. It's not about me, it's about the players that you left in 2019 at a very high note, and because of you've been there with them, and you know you went to Commonwealth Games with them, you've seen how they've performed there, and you came back, and then you know we did not perform as what we wanted to perform. And I mean, then she said to me, President, as long as you're going to allow me the space that you've given me in 2019, let me take this one. And let me tell you, this is my last one. Whether you can convince me or do whatever, this is my last one. But I'm happy that she's back. She has put back the culture of winning and the culture that she had at the time. And the girls are very happy. I always say, happy players will give you happy results.
And you know, I always say, in Norma we trust. Very quickly, we have run out of time. I want to go back to the trophy tour just very quickly. It's not just going to be touring in urban areas. Why was it so vital for you to have it touring in rural areas and in townships? Just very briefly.
Hashtag mode of Netball South Africa is straightforward. It says, hashtag taking netball back to the people. Where are the people? In rural areas, in townships, in farms. So let's go there and make those people see the trophy and not only see it on TV. And like you can see, you know, live, they should see it live and say, we were part of the history. In my lifetime and in your lifetime, we'll never see this again. It came to this show after 60 years. So I don't think, maybe after 20-something years it can come back, but not now. But that's why we said, let's take it to the people for the people to see it. And South Africa is also known that the World Cup is here and they must support the Spar Proteas.
Yes, no, lots of support, and we are all backing the Spar Proteas ahead of the Netball World Cup taking place on the 28th of July later on this year. Thank you so much for bringing a goodie for us to all see in real person, and I know for a fact that it is staying in South Africa. It's definitely staying in South Africa, no doubt about that. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Netball SA President Cecilia Molokwane as we look ahead to the Netball World Cup taking place in Cape Town.